Syntax tank, a strong, a tough, and a awake mineral water. Already seated. A member of parliament for Anya Sotium constituency. The Honorable Dr. Dixon Adoma Kunkisi. What's I say? So and Bernard and PSA, or a member of the national communications team for the NDC. Bernard and so Atnase. Commercial information. But Mamini Kaimo Akwaba answer. Honorable Akwaba.
Yeah, media.
How are you? How are you?
About the Adom CJ, Nyobiana or Daya or sorry.
Sir.
You know, meda Yehoase. Sunday, so many Assemblies of God for a 1 year dear.
Oh, okay.
Now, Omudium 30th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Just behind a Hodio Yam Market. Into Yam Markets, no, Echi. Yeah. Nah. In fact, me to honor me shares and I'm bannis boss and coom say, hey, I sorry pan ye. A chain keep fit. A chain keep fit. But it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice to see, sir. Ghanaians are always religious. Into yam some there. Whatever ways and means yeah, the best some near the some. Yeah. Because of Assemblies of God were US ping pong pink a crabby Niger. Yeah, vampire there.
Baby, I
think the cultural, traditional, Afra, Yamisum. And see, it's okay. That's African style. It's okay. The only thing me person me throw home later on in the future. Say my weddings na car I too much. And see me go so dre home send me sure yeah ham brand here no. You know, say pina person worry but omo here omo here wedding na kana too much into we there me dey tuja loans not also for weddings. A yempo de wow nitia no nanka o hode dada e buka wia na ebi atete omo but weddings akano some young men cannot say it but as me ginemu mom I know ya yeding and mesre ebusuafo no titru embana mukrano after first child na fe omo dwen ho say e ka omo boy no supposed friends a bedi and a crap no omumbe sabu friend crap omumba on empachen it's nice how you do ane mama nsanya bedi call a drew putting poor omuni ho nti you know makoiska forward in you know amana na sometimes you be surprised omo always kind of cromo papa no at the todain ema neba what am I say? Inti where they know your baby kakrebi.
Honorable sir, conversation here we raise it. It's very important. I think that is something that we need to look at as a form of competition.
It's bad
because we dey no or ye ni say intimate so me dey no pese me ye na etra we dey no eso the number of bridesmaids, the number of groomsmen, the number of people that are invited, aduane a you know decor
and sometimes I saw in a crowd put the Eddie shed to almost so. I saw for be too much. Almost said that show said Nipa Bebanti. You're saying. I really think the supposed men of God no almost in no budget. Because from medical standpoint, no, our real mumpo no obi oha and son of Benny insane no na medically no boka. And so was spending his weekend now so our home for Sonny in Kala. Yeah. Nti why not say you be physical to her for Amufano school fees rather than say ye be didinia dania sreniako. I really think Obi our 2 years 3 years still ogusutia wedding after 3 years, after 4 years. Only say Ebia committed suicide for that because a cowboy for wedding no nafi a brono so our year dino. We dear, almost saying, yeah, no, but
yeah, but I think it's a very important.
Some of the things that have transpired. Yeah. Where did we Miami come say, hey, Adom, this is too much. So, who was canon it doesn't mean say. On wedding. Miss Makuskini wedding or this can tour diamond ebano. So which I think is powerful.
Yeah.
So a very simple wedding ceremony and a sikao huntino. Rather no, the ode jane baba and quine or tofie ma or nikunu. Yeah. So and I don't know, mimeti no na and no dimu mame change poppy or current car can cry and finds on to be crying with that. So I really think that is worrying. Na na mess you know be manu de wa ni mo pade na o de dine or be a source of ordinity fabiano na ordinity akofa. And if I tell you some of the stories after weddings masa you know recently Krobi cried ne husband no ye chene to say na loan or koje na no yedin. Be to me dink of Fosika cry because or the tin and one in him. Now we know question them. Now we any do question them na one here if you said the nice and no what's the money man so on how
it doesn't make sense.
Intimate you know.
Yeah. Honorable Medase pa Honorable Dixon Adom Kisi MP Anya Sotium and Oten and Kano. Bernard.
Yeah.
Akwaba.
Yeah.
I want them.
Nyame adom.
The nyame ase.
Yasora bedo e na Nyankopon na ase ase da.
Amen.
Me mfa konye sunsunchia. Watiefu. Ni ahwefo ahwe wo abefo. Ntentan so. Last week me de to gwa say tutu. Ekurapem na oredu on afe. Enra na ode afe ni nyina ba wi. Afe ni aka ye say obeye eyi ye no mu ni ade. Busuafo a ofi mu ache ebe kai wona won ayo binmu yi ti mefa kwanye so na mechia tutu hene na tutu hene na pnt the fourth na mechia atranko afo am so osisi ahemfo bi afoforo bi ni ade abeka ho ebe bo nyina nso abaso na bo ntrenkwa yasre nyakoma ho den dia mo no wetimi aboa pagyawo tutu kro no ama akopempenso asese edu and then on se Ghana baby mebun are dory na what dory no one how can see nyuma obey so one say to makongano enti se osi wo hena no de edimasa ahwonsa so betimi aboa na mebun so etimi atwa ho nyini nyina na da bia no ye de ho beto aban so ye se pekwan be fa so a ye be encourage youth no na one 10 into entrepreneurship na bibi a wo ye no ngatimi ayeniye na wonga prepare for one daction so me fam for a doka se mo kan so Ghana no a brasso say yes that define yen aware ye teacher asoro dem mo de no because nka aware de se me kwa koja aware na manse no mo no me na me oberema nti Darius na say obenti no ade no wode mawa na nkan say ye bibia no bo ye den kesesa enti ase keke se meti ase meje watom nti me pese woni me ba no mokobobra na ye bebi hono behwe no obesesa ne ma bebre egu onso nti dana obeja aware no bewie no na oberema na ni je pai wa aware mu etuko ebesan won aware no susan so nti ni je odo ana ewo mu a wode wura mu no na abafom yan hwe say ebiti atoto sanemani ye wuja aware wo fie wie afi no so sanso fa kwa so dem na no so nkonko ya aware je foforo biom nti ye de yan de ya mamrede no ni asan akofo bro ne de na san ba beta so nti akwai ne ma ho
ye kapa nka fie de no eno ne aware no
nka ne ak na sem se ebinom ye won die wo ye fie di wi a eno so be kwa ban mu ordinance na won akosansan krata
ebi nso kra fie no fie ho na wale check wani mienu ni nyina na fe
nti ya mesi ebeti na hwe na aboa because abrabo ahase dodo na ye won abrabo ahase nti wo de kadi on animu a de help be eba
Medase Minia Bernard and PCA and water and canon and Mpensenpensenmu syntax tank a strong, a tough, and a weak mineral water Madaroma. Yes, I'm common say Bernard Menin sound about Meshasi a through na Yasha Memendano and a tenia Akoso a war. Ose
on any fiasem.
I any fiasem.
Maybe an over patcho, near Jaikan.
There be person shall say to we are now Dr. Abem. Medase inti for the 10 minutes you be enough we are yakoyenim Bernard
yo sige me na wasibio na no kwani anza mesha sekra no memfa akwanya isu na minchia president Mahama de bia obia na Ghana for do nara and on uhwe won komoboma won ani agina won afi president Mahama ebinom mpa ba oba ne senka edne na de chinyai nanka 2024 December 7 taso na yakoto aba ama papa na dai sumu yedura ofi akunwa sokra 7 years down the lane among for that so who say niema oye no and the kura Ghana kra yempa bonese nyakopon bekoso amani nyansa ne humu emfa ho ne baby a aban agije Ghana kwako wie menim say bra ehia si ebenya obi a owo experience we do mampanyen da sabri because of say okofo bi fufuro ba experiment obe try at matra makwe me fe nsia ye yen say nke be be the president Mahama baby da oye nso e ma niam oye no oye ma ni CP enti ye hwekwan ye mpa bo no se nyakobon be na dom na mama na hoden a obetimi de ababetu asa adwuma no so aman mewi ho no ibebi sa se nia e course wo UTV no kwan bia so no e ade a se nipa bia e kasetia se nipa bia kasetia sabri nke se o mampanyin akufuado se wonga wotu no fo no ana wonga obona mane no wonga manatia ke se mprimpi ya tenen candidate se wa condemn sa ade e course no because CJ bibi anyway a bit me dey gina so say eno na be ya no yi ana e be justification to near course no edikan ayobifi ana emfanse obi adwuma nti wuntimi mmowura ho preko a wonsre kwan ye oyesa oye intruder wotimi de bibia abo ma na yeye etusu bio no one mission motive what they call ho ne say wakwa ko stop program a eye won editorial policy program na offices of say wo ye or sponsors are won abo hoka san say osusu say we be a friend kwa me plus eba program so ebe title krata bia what true fee MPP asway e de come UTV for to them no was a sudden one property nti ni say A plus timi say no nti ba be bisa ni ntia utim say sa property no won admit say let it be akoso efi ebia MPP asway okay ababe pure UTV ho na to so biom no was so say ora kwami A plus akasa etia one vice president wakasa etia party general secretary wakasa etia omampanya kufuado na person watch reading ho enti eno no susu say say what them rush won sem na wokotu ora ne so sa na bebi sa se eyi ne fiase ba Ghana ya manwese mu daben e fiase ba Ghana manwese mu e bra na nekufado be ye MPP leader e fiase bra na nekufado be ye MPP leader and no share said to trust some na se e wo MPP national headquarters what share say MPP national headquarters from 2014 to 2016, MPP national headquarters. When you da, Kopem say wanga to obo edebo wura kwame Japan na oye elected general secretary. Congress na elected no. Because na nekufa do say ontimi ni nya adwuma sabre num. Ena mo Paul Afoko. What prime ni fi ni chairmanship position. And you be na appointee no. elected position. And so na kufa do different party no be your man penyen no e no this side ndi nachi e betina Ghana so. Obeka 2017 MPP fu ba megum. National Security Minister appointed regional coordinator. Eko Ashanti region. And then you see Obeka MPP for tax etu sa papa no so sa. Eko pam fi ni office. And I'm sorry, so my police for a bear my what day a seminal court no. Court it's not some tax nibi MPP for ya. A two sir, a court, a copam judge or tiagum. Because I don't know, Niako Win say, Nanako Fadwa banga ba, banga ba, into Mra and Yajmogana have you. And so cry because I bring so back I say, Ura Nanka Bruce, ACP Nanka Bruce. Flagstaff House. Kwana MPP tax and then a fado at this hapa panefaso. And me kai back in opposition MPP. Oba mufia Asempa FM. Sabe no rabia or friend Bubiansa. And I know host Ekusi saying bedroom and I know Ekusi saying program area.
Yeah.
Ura hopes in adoi. Ba show no sibi. Now be fast so to trust him be done edi. Now Anthony Kabu sabe no national youth organizer. Mobilize tax eba mufia NC wa ha. Enya yenko me nim nia President Akufo-Addo opese Ghana yenye mano. Ni opebia Ghana ya man. Ni anekoma so na dai so Ghana ye de aman so fato on fato ye de aman opebu man wosreka basa tantantan ye wabutra ye twen se Nyankopon ya adom abrosua through the ballot box ye bese san ban obi antu ne society obi ansori ntia ne ye 2020 election e bin see da in our fourth republic see e betu abana nipa ba kope be hwere nankwa e bia through accident. But say soldier for state sponsored. Twitio kum nipa ba wote wo Ghana ha. Na Ghana de ba ko how yempa ye nyaatwum hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. Ene ma Ghana ba bia ya cha ya che okwan mu no sa na akwakoba ne ne. Nsenchirofo. Ene edu mu so ne de. Obi antim. Nipa ba wote no e ho nkomodi ye twa so mreben. Wanganya justice. The rebuff, then Namaka found. Then answer no so what they are semesi no one name. They were ya semesi asem a witch. But a nadi, I do no pungano. Mumbo do dwahe na mutimetra radio so. Dia kukudu time kaneza muka. Who can you na text message ba so mewa? One threaten with that. See they tell me MPP for one threaten with that. What is going on? I think Ghana no sebe asem ko sebe. Obia wona fa ohudi. Obia wona right. Baby I make some in sabenkum. Na metie ma kosi me nifa baby ebedu no. Obi so ne right. E start if you. Oh, ye be hwe ne police be ye fasade ho. Because Kumasi DC no anko wiehwe. Ya nti bibia amfa ho. Ayawa so West Wugon. Ni see no. Ye hu ne ko wie. Nipa 8 will we in 2020 election. And son and Akufo-Addo be the second tenure no. Ye nti bibia amfi ho ye. And several others. And here baby be ko wie. There's a child, it's on you people. And Jimbo Jai Kasa, no not for ready. Business as usual. Maybe be dear. Sebi you. You're in Tiasempa. Sabre Nani may be Briakechi. Sigi Ayatan Tansem, a bufu sem. Because more program is Yaba no jo, and I'm a
yeah.
Yaba no job program. Now, I know job may be a make carbon. That's sebi you mean your security. And I mean near be a met kasaya on the anya adwin. Or if you have to be not a baby tima. So Ghana democracy no you bet my man ye.
On say Bernard, okay, say metie, but we've had instances, and a penna may make reference. One make a lot of references, but Nancy M say in May, Radio Dagbon, Dagbon FM, and so I'm say morning show host at studio.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I can't send you. So then, Manetia, NDC, former Obura studio.
Yes.
Ebe Bono. I mean, so if we are condemning,
we condemned it.
Yes.
I'm mad that saying this is issue statement in defense of Sabra panel.
No, just like MPP. So a statement.
What I say?
Yes.
But I know now some country happen. Oh, NDC so MPP so and yet to trust them, any color. No one koye wo dabon hon wan fa NDC din na koye or the MPP din na koye. That is the difference. Or the MPP din mpatoti or the MPP din na koye what claim say we leaders and one various constituencies, youth organizers. What you say and not just a mere condemnation on kwankeke. As I said, BBC. You see, MPP one now. You better, you know who be yet. So you phenomenon down. My time home restaurant near BCC. The only incident I make our President Kufabreso, I think 2008. World Day Nipa be called Radio Gold. A good did you maybe sir. So what I say, but praying at Dawson. Praying setup no MPP setup no at Dawson. Now some money on new kakra. Mekai pa Joy FM. Where do so? Joy FM. Now where your program be? Sabre no na Ura kakra samwa. No or MPP. So Bekaya minim say na Bekai. Na Ura Tony Edu Crossfire. And the former President Rawlings. Very heated. Very hot. Yeah, baby, me honorable. Yeah, Bekasa. Mekamede. Or the Canadian neighbor council. Contest of ideas. I mean, just when I know what I said. Yes, I say a bit and seven. I see me with a lot of respect for most of them. Because, Sabi, and your party will not do Wakura. And a party is soon in the bang per the dictates of the head. Into obeying your mebia. Honorable Dr. Adom 106.3. We are not casting an enemy. I think we are all endorsed. But praying, say a picture some po. Nean Casa NDC Moon can be MPP in Cambia. Then now my rat Langtramanting FMPP mo. And then now can Japan and may now no sisia or bodaru. Then my you see, never be brave Abesenko now young face.
Okay.
Now young trap then I say, what's a dear about when you know? We muso. What you say? Sabi, Ubia Sana President Anakufado can Sabri. Maybe be a being. It is a bebasa meba, I mean, for say, will be bet my boy to me, but I'm my boy. No, yes, see any.
Bernard in
Say, Meba Ghana, democracy, na papa dia.
Medase.
Sorry, Edusha, you know, Babo and Hoban.
Medase, Bernard in PSC of the NDC, and what say, Nenkana, Adom 106.3 FM. And they say, oh, yeah, businessman, Udija, a Bibre Mohanum, ma, Udija, call Togo, Benin, Nigeria, and Togo, say, African countries, na, opese, Omanisika. Ananso so bia na ebusuafo kra na omo ewo Kenya ananso so African countries bia so obeso mani sika etietia CBG na ede sa anhihye ede aba enti wo Ghana ha na peso mani sika de kwa Nigeria sika no obema ne de free hand pakọ no ne sabeka ne naira pepepe ewo Nigeria honom enti hye ne so sa na mo amudidwuma ahodo no momfa sa kwan ya CBG ede abai monhwe na momfanye sikamane ho adwuma ohaw bia eni ho 114 branches ewo Ghana ha bia abowrema utimi edi sa adwuma no emane sika ede ko African country bia so Gambia o Mali o Niger o bia utimi mane sika ede ekọ ema obia o manisika no nsaka ne pepepe ewo ehonoma ohaw bia eni ho enti for any CBG na onu wo mo entwetwe enkomo from 0302 216-000. And also email talk to us at cbg.com.gh. And also social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Aneka Kahuni Nanwa, Utimino Mo Etretrain and Komo. CBG, we stand with you. Doc.
Yeah, CJ, Ansana, maybe back to studio issue, no. Maybe na me tie onemenu ba asamfa nkwala aka a bomb.
Yeah.
In fact, let me say it's about 2 weeks ago me pam boy bakuti, I think an 11-year-old car a bono. Another the same accident, you know, abofra bako that in Naibu. It's me momu ko kesimu. Say in dadie abofra no enaimu. And to ubejun say very distant. Na me fasa akwenye upper driver for cho. Especially so wo ben sukua. Ideally, wo nimdia kakra baby a school will be an say oko speed.
Slow down.
Baby a school will be a maybe say be more dogono. One girl so yes, in your accident not too long ago because ye bomb pie see benya cross ye flyover for pedestrian.
Yeah.
Ewo odogono senior high school ho. Enti eye ade ha me na de me be twa to no so no say awofo man small ba baby a wokọ a obetwa kwan kese say kwan kra ye keto a me se man small sometimes almost small mo okotokoko okoto bibi kitikitiki bi obehwe na we did them
akofa how kese dey ba
enti media I think say mesrem pinifo no say most man kwala munjin hu twice because one here na akwenshia na obano ekonya and a very painful loss. Very painful. Me honum say ablekuma kev etaisi. We've lost quite a number of children ewo honum. Ti mestre awo fono. Omu ko school crap easy. I think some time ago me article say so ba itwaka in kese mu so pe bus be a den beko. So inso say oba betwa kwa in kese mu. And taxi because one day one here and why a victim.
Yeah.
Nti meditwa etwono roads and highway for ne omo a eye akwan ho ejuma urban roads ne road safety ye best be a pedestrian crossing bia ye hia no mombo homodin me traffic light in 7 maka megusoka and also eye asem ne omo wia traffic light ho electrical in yamano so omo hweye me de da me so ba komu we dey Mr. Meka here ansana police baba no na yesu ne edili kakra ansa because they are very painful obi we are traffic light on yemen bia na say opesenko for edidem now coming to the substantive matter kabima min kebi and to say kabima min dibi but kabima min kebi amambo aba abetna whether we like it or not. I think Yera Rollins, Semeka, one of the legacies are Yedebeka no say the transition of Ghana from military rule to democracy. I think that Yempo it drew for a winning election. No, President Rollins could have decided still obetan them. In the terms of history of this nation, is one of the turning points in the country because me sonona oko kasa radio so now I am sure at least the me who you know military rule no so no it was without reason na reason che and shedanim there a soldier for person here and omo now yam fast forwarded to emremu let me say so beyond the temperament make a temperament bene mira ben enim etihei ebi okasaria obisun to me cry na adani ntokwa nkasa ewo hanom Individually, people have different temperaments. And I miss me shows be a main shampoo, quote unquote, party be out on the radio gold, party be out on your Mind FM.
Yeah.
But what I say, baby, how tune in, no crazy, I mean, the obetina, no, akuma say, because utunze adeni fita so Ben say tuntum.
One who said, Doc, who can't mean? We try to be as neutral as possible. But one of these days, last week, we will see them so. My main fan to sa station na mintie. I wouldn't want to mention the station. Na mintie some more come hona. Who said? Na enti omo studio hono omo kasa no Ghana ha
o many to apa enti sa issue no ho na se wo tia wo tie no so no you have to so hwe onpa ko kasa ene baby o free ba o kasa sana obe hwe sana obe we asem no na at the end of the day media me engineer so say listen, freedom of speech but there are also limitations. Freedom of speech, but in that there are limitations, because and so can the ebobra obeka radio so say mekumubia na unpakuwa embremuno you can have repercussions. What's the message? Although a freedom of speech there are limitations, but at the end of the day actions I'll be taking. With all due respect, DAC say a quarter, a kai bibebono, a beyond Bayesian, and when you mean kasa for party or for government, may Kano paying as a legislative member. Say, I think say we crap is a turning point for young legislative members. Ese in so I war sa subaino ye pejemuna in say charges and now fines are ye debe mo bia obobora obi studio muno ye pejemu to dissuade people from taking such actions. Inti meme Jane says ye be parliament either this month or next month. One of the statements yebe tuja ebe how yebe protected the sanctity of the studios, because a space as ye protected the ma obia to me chair na dream. At the end of the day, nipa enkwa very important. Me so mubora ho so be adwin anko ye otmitwe obenko betwa atwe sekan aye de ense so ye, and anything could have happened. We could have lost lives. Inti moving forward there, one I me my dream is one studio protection very important, and we ye no so free me miss also media outlets. I mean, whether blue, green, or red or yellow, there's a more editorial work. No, yen stepping up kakra. Again, same now on your Kano radio, so because of repercussions. Mimi say me hey, in kukwemu nkomo ho, and radio so nkomo ewo ho. Na yen hwe sad no because enye na ne kawo mframaso aye. And then now so near done a D or bedroom a year. And on that note, one me better hanka say anything a year sort of violent a year right. I know their main for so Nemum no one thing a pabo and a nanampedumo say Sakukru Jaya. So bad so sometimes on somehow back weigh it carefully, because a bit to me the repercussions be I then your honum me respect Usu Bempa. I think that's a Sophon Indiana.
Yes.
Prophet. Unso or can be for Imam who Emma Ebedane Nsem. And no, it was not a political space. What's my say? A religious space. And Siebeka, we can cite many examples, ain't necessarily even political. Yoha at a former vice president for Bahama, Erika, say chalkbox once be Mukaya.
Or say chalk on my mama chalk and then my mama chalk watching.
And no crowd than in SMP, my teachers, Ebufu, and the Kikaho. I'm just saying, sir, there are so many ways one here, the other come media, so ebe flare up amankophobia, I didn't somewhere.
But honorable, this one has to do with the media, journalists, any Juma, does it goes to confirm, sir, culture of silence tag no idea? You are a member of the ruling party.
I don't think the way has to do with culture of silence, really. Where there is far from that. Because culture of silence and see a campaign diana and your way. Because when the uncle my drink, NOB Casabia act now, which was the tearing of the paper in showing some level of disrespect. And no, Emma actions he take place. It is not my place to judge whether tearing the paper means anything or not, but maybe point is one. Bono Mubura Honey, I do not agree with it one bit. You can also vent out on social media. You can have a media farm vent out against a course on the show, or appropriately, you try and have a seat on the show as well, because Fox News, fair and balanced, that's what they say. But you don't get a lot of Democrats on the show. So, ain't say, quote unquote, a show numpo bedane anti-government. One of the options is to dilute it by having a representation on the show. Not on Pakuno Kwa, wako making sure say assembly on Bekano. Or not the counter narrative. But
there is an entertainment show. So if you if you should have a government representation or a party representation,
kind of say
in general,
it was quote unquote entertainment.
Yes.
Then to be very honest, unfortunately, A+ now is not entertainment. Mekasa na I know they respectfully, there are people who are Ejako is entertainment. He sways into politics every now and then, but not at the level A+. That's my say. A+, whether we like it or not, under one regime was in a certain way, and another regime is in a certain way. A+ is if I will be very fair as a Ghanaian, A+ is a political celebrity. Let me put it that way, and his words carry some level of weight. He has swayed more into politics. Into whom A+ will show so, and I show biswa 10 out of 18 of his submissions are political. I know they'll be to me since I'm a dream for home, because me I'm a follow me new bema ne papa ye na meant to me uncle. But follow no, and nobody can tell you he's not unfortunately turned that program into a political program.
I see.
Some
of us you follow that program.
Oh, it's nice. And I said Mac Brown is a fantastic career woman. Maybe saying I always admire her. Me use as an example of Ubia.
But I think Mac Brown is no more.
So that was the genesis of the show.
Yes.
Maybe me come back to. So my person who say I know the show very well.
Okay.
So that's my say. Na say Mikasa. Pacho say. As it stands, there are two things. One, I think the media for your editorial work near here, say a brandy who has social media or entertainment, showbiz, me tuning in me person who program Mekoso or Madina, Labadi, wherever, a year showbiz. So that's my say. But say if we showbiz near political show there, then let us know that now and yes say you didn't track your viewers. And you know one thing, and one thing is so you're a producer for a political show. I know that you know how to manage your host and your guest. Very important. So you're a host or a radio producer for something specific, which is politics. Unim how about your we are showbiz, so let's remain showbiz. And these are some of the problems that
Honorable, the Constitution is clear on Ejuma Yeye. So let me refer to Article 162, Clause 4 of the Constitution. I'll say, editors and publishers of newspapers and other institutions of the mass media shall not be subject to control or interference by government. Not shall they be penalized or harassed for their editorial opinions and views or the content of their publications.
Oh, I'm still in support of that. Now,
me refer to Constitution because it's here now. Say
say
editorial policy near
there. Showbiz.
Yes.
If you are branded as a showbiz,
yes.
I know they maybe can't because so obey a car shower and as obey a sports programmer. Don't veer off. But I know you're in the media space na make home. Okay. Because it be home and so when I tune into a car show, I mean it's a car show na mehe. When I tune into music and entertainment, I mean it's a no na mehe. Now say branded as music entertainment. Now feel done no political. Then it is not a political show. Because I really think that media just a footstool to the media houses. And yes, I may trom the omunko.
Because so be crowded for CBS.
No. I only think say, and let me say this. I've always said say, you have media na ye never been koye because I'm a report on car accident and car infoni bi han ko mu yin cheye.
Yes.
What's man say? We hwe mo jane ne masano. Se ye be ye dwuma yi pa. And your own media for a car accident reportage. And I know, say, Openi, and your reported car accident, you better in depth to how the accident came about. Near their education on how to prevent the next accident. But rather, no, sometimes the gory pictures in show. Oko into sports as well. There are some good sports journalists. Oh, show programmer, who should be free. Obiso ha, onwa, anopa, wakoye news, ewo makola. Of Makola, no wako petrol station, no wako petrol station soon who news. That doesn't help us. And why? It is him as a media conglomerate. Maybe the imagination say, to CJ, oh yeah, morning news in Yama, no what focus strictly on morning news agendas in the Akikaho. And no pass him to say to me chucha potholes in the Akikaho.
Yeah.
But I can also tell you say, so be expertise here. Potholes, roads, Edinema, no ye news on Sanyamana, you not compare. Because a non onim bitumen quantities I'll be here and Sanyamana. And he may shreka say, media forums, ye juma, let's try and stay in our domain where we have strength. Baby, I no. Let's not veer off into. Nadine also no basis, main support it. Sa ubore obi studio mu never, but I also think a year sort of maybe you know in maybe nama akobasa and my even state the unfortunate incident between Imam and the Reverend Owusu Bempa,
yeah.
Which is also just because sometimes no in Framamu Kasano while we are candy and says all car na kodanin so maybe say I'm not free of in Sembia Macon baby Amadani Asem. Mete you know, anyway, need to politics. A more recording in the Akikaho.
Yeah.
Mete will be in Pemasem because of recording me. Obi so Pemasem because of recording. And it's a lot of complication.
Okay.
And it's a very serious turning point for media relations in this country.
Okay.
Now, said American, even in Parliament, you be make a strong statement to make it more difficult for people to do Sadi or Mia and Fakwaimu. So that when the penalties are heavy, whether NDC or MPP, nobody dare, and American nobody dare enter a studio to just as it says ransack or even attempt to injure people in a studio because it is not right.
Medasi honorable. Medasi Adom 106.3 FM. I'm say you be call your next topic and also the IMF bailout and the latest after Fiadano the joint press conference. But Vodafone Vodafone cash at the Fufraba with only 5 Ghana cedis. No Vodafone ebema 200 minutes of talk time valid for 6 days to all networks. 5 Ghana cedis. Ubinya sa voice offer no we Vodafone cash special voice offer. It's new and it's innovative. Enti niense we ya say obe dial star 110 hash star 110 hash to purchase your bundle and also be call my Vodafone app no so na fi wakoto bundle ewo ho we akwanya ye de ma na woni abusuafo nyina timi edi enkita ho Vodafone further together.
See more reaction to be answer doctor can
but money brief nothing.
Doc Casano I'm say oko too random man expressly and now a person call her say obetimi anya asem bia can say more programs are more say bia mo bedi mo le mo program doc so long as a bang ekura on man for taxes abribia they can call for accountability. Abribia. Abribia. Regardless platform ojinaso. Sorry then mo. He found they can call for accountability. And when I was say leaders no, yet me accommodate sa no. Because sabi, on this schedule, na niema nkoya. As I said, there be an onya selected platform be an restricted platform be as wakokazana. No.
Sana ote honorable.
Sana nepese koning. Men name nyadwin was akwan so bra. CJ media for more kwan under the law. Se munya majuma munsuro machi.
Yes.
Munhwa mu meti so. Munya courage. Because more na what clubs are here. Fourth estate of the realm. Yes. Enti mo ye the rubofo mo ye gatekeepers ti munya kukudura mo fanya maduma but aban bi ba no ye say obe bia saade no so emwa enti na e media commission se media house bi ayade bi uzuza wo ho asema emre bia ni obi ansem say fu ankasa ko na kotu no so sa
national media commission for omo hen they say omo hen
report ma won because yes me wa
yeah.
It is a studio ha. Say what come once and but no babe kono. And yes, I'm running training. As a semi report to media house no. And my media commission. Yes, I'm attending. And yes, I'm attending. Some people is because operating under the rule of law. So what they make anti me nikwan say maybe best stop e2 car tie because what they make anti. Even though they make and nyabe na sami yes aden. So nimza. It's amra. Anything you want mra wo mamu ha. Ye mamra ne nya adwuma. Ne ye nwo yen ho. Ye nwo yen ho Ghana na nyo bia de nchen ne yonko. Ye nyina yen dia.
Okay.
Medase.
Ora mamra ho na yen ko IMF enkomo no. So then we get to know the good news are Abba so far on the bailout. Honorable.
The kind I think we would have wished said Kenya baby I wouldn't no credit as a member of the MPP party and also a member of parliament. President Eshe Finance Minister Song call IMF PNYanje because na ye hopi say in as much as a COVID no ebe boy no na enye sutro kesia ankebe mayako on bended knees nimse finance minister na musu no main kase asodin there but na ono so hope say anka IMF there empire
into not to train na ase
into do credit I think so to train na ase but ye free be reality no ehetewa upompo you have to do what is right and let the consequences follow. And I think, looking back, one, I bet they say not a needful decision to make. Yanyanka and MP Edrigo. Now, whether you're NDC or you're MPP, so mine a year dear uncle, you know, na se empo 2024, if it's the NDC nearby, me as a member of parliament for the MPP, and me there's so minor, you say be drew a certain point, irreversible in terms of damage. Patrol what am I saying? Even the opposition party, which is the NDC party, omu here say o mining yama bekuye, no mo ba, almost all the ending. Ye simple society. Inti abribiano, me say me chair opposition for say, see kasa fa mambo no ho yen kasa ye, because ye say no so much say ye ko dying obi kana fear will be in trouble. Na marketing wo way positive news biano eboa my stock values no go up as a nation. Na yensem ke can be soto etumi twi enko echi. I saw ko loan na wa wejuma enfo aka che loan officer and say dabida papa we dey money loan you so ko gi dia beboa adwuma no ama o menyo marketia enti bibia e bedri one first tranche a buyer what appears to be right and say we dey IMF for nankasa ne ene te ha omo wo nipa ba ko Bank of Ghana anameboa yes and even American president so am I another person to also support ejwana ye no enti omo hwe ye suban ne se na ye nhihye ne kona omo ye very happy so be more loan and now the omo wasa na o yes na o kaso be ya na afi kra no nyame eyo aduma wan hia 600 million kra no meka so sena Ghana for eya de yen double no man omopeko sena eniema beko eden ebeko yie enti me say no anamontu ayetu no me mpai bokra ne say by second tranche ebebe na yewia one way crano may review 600 na konenim amayen sana enyema ebeko ye amayen papa but I also know the next day election year into a by election year pan there I know me very strict but maybe a bomb pie say based on sana ye manage kakrana bano ombenya areshemu ehun say omaino enhihye no any omunhihye om ne bae no aboama small businesses okay interest rates no conform exchange rates no conform inflation so conform and sa positive trends in no is in the interest of the average Ghanaian and your finance minister but in the interest of the average Ghanaian because and then no koto plane ticket and yet easy because of exchange rate. Oh, koto enyema wo China bagana and easy because of exchange rate. Enti I'm hoping say program no IMF program no say adhere to it stringent say no more canana there'll be positive results. Na ni nemu sunu mebo makola for so abaso. Mekasa na meka emba omuye trade. Some of inyema no mo yeno na ma omaino yenya shock absorbers kama enye resilience of entrepreneurs awo mining mo metumi aka say anka we are in very serious crisis enti private businesses at this point to metwa so ide abomabaso the likes of all the titans metumi aka metallics munum no Franco trading nominal, almo boa in terms of small enterprises, almost Franco for Juma in support of what government is doing. Inti media, this is positive, and the NDC or the opposition also should have a positive narrative about it, because a 10 year or mining not MPP, a 10 year every single person on tone is crowd crying. And this is what I'm hoping for.
But I'm saying, Honorable, how we are taking advantage of positive outlook to turn things around internally. It's also very, 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 very important. I don't know. So what?
Me too, I say.
Yeah.
And if it is favorable, let's give the merit to who it is due. If it is not favorable to, because we took charge, we the president really took charge. Let me say that, or Kasimasa, Miana, Messia and Code, IMF, but we dear, Masasa Madrin, and a Hokrano, maybe say me bought cabinet, Abaso say, almost 2 years, at the end, because some cabinet would have still held to the ground, say, IMF dear da, Nanka, or mining Abutu, into a honor. A remarkable show of excellence in leadership, because leadership then you be as kwabo it drew say there now Nsem now take a decision be at the time I will take a decision very unfavorable, but ujna onanso take his decision eventually go for back I say yes ampa with the presido show boy nanado why dear Sefata, and I think say Yura Ben Ebeja Tumwa, whether Opompo, the positives of the IMF return to giving us SAR 600. Yeah. Comma, all of us as a country.
Okay.
Yes.
But that's it. Ben.
Yeah.
I'm in right way.
Yo. CJ. Yampo. Baby, ya baby duni. Ya call IMF. Then I didn't call IMF. You call IMF because among no na insi kasem ejija. Then ma among nisi kasem jijai. Among nisi kasem jijai because anda na Kufuado and a Dr. Baumia. Wanga pebusia dudroa. Gana bakwasimu ebinsida. Wabai no in 2017 na Ghana yenka nyina na ye 120 billion Ghana cedis. Prepare I can say edu 575 or 7 billion Ghana cedis. Yeah, the agencies no more ne akeka ka ho na beka ho a ne akoko board dey fine kusi hin na statutory payments a eno so ho keka ho a ekeka boma Ghana yenka no atra 600 billion. Esa ne senti nhihye ane aye esi itimi di tua yen account no na yentimi nni so. Nti afi yakwa abosi agba wo mayen biom. Na da bia no there's a saying say o obon na pese opua untu nkofom. Because utu kofom ni nyina na bon na o hyebu emuredo. Inti abana ne tane susu say kan bia ne ho betimi afaso bio. Sabre no na President Mahama aka say baby amode omanis kasama kwa kodu no eye ni mugu ase de nanso mo swallow mo pride no mumra mo ho ase na mo nko IMF, because that was the only solution and betimi save Ghana then. Yakwa no CJ asem fufura sanga koba, because kana na yede no IMF susu say so what they say sika na manga anhwe obi baba be sika na fie nsem nti obi aye ne na ye nhihye ya yede ne ka no yenko tumre no nko nanim tieni anya se yenko no mfa ka ne nche ngo yenko sesa nhihye ne se fisa break up bi amfia bi nga de ngene mene kana yede wo no yentimi ntua enti twan kakra na ma yen fi be ye bi nga ya hyase atua. Me ka be si IMF nsem obeka jen zo Ghana agina ye na fine ko sin ye gina he ne ko bi yin fa ye ko no nya ban penfo ka kire ne se wo rekọ for balance of payment support. International say young dollars are ewo young for 2 muno. Esuato ti ekope bia ba bechim. Just last 2 weeks, Bank of Ghana Sikana yenya about $11.4 billion no as young JRR no gross international reserve about $5 million in 2 years no ya share over $6.8 billion. Enti import cover no akabeye na abosuma bienpe se SMBC na Ghana ntimi ankwam ni akone aba na yebetime de ama odi akokra fuel aba na won akokra aboso kanfo kra woni ama aba na bank season says kan nyina na ni nyina ebed last for just 2 months. After 2 months ebesa nti oman no na collapse in terms of say yen forex reserve no se yen ayade ana ya de akodi wo bring $600 million no then ye de see you was what ye de then abano then we do to say or this is can be ye e call capex honorable mona our parliament e mu ahin e call capex capital expenditure in Jabeka so ya invest our hanti dachi yenya e be ma yen faso bi see je nkomo na ye di no mo ma ye nyan se na da bi ade na ye no prempren ye de ka bi a ye ntua ye because of DDEP as I see a tuake e be do be ko tua no na bia na nya ban no wo so enti sa leverage no ye nkomo na aheha ya because yan ko tuaka no ye de sika bi to hefa na edu se ye de akwakotua abang ni si we sie sika he e wo he account be mu as a brand so say kotua sa kana ye benya de akwakotua because ya from in 2016 abang ni timi service ne debt to the tune of 11 billion. Owie no onya kakra at the two for 2 ahuru or the bit to sinking fund or the bit to stabilization fund or the bit to GIIF mu or the bit to friend then lots buffers and then also among no a rich among say among obang bi ade amede tutu ne pa brabo wote hey secure that account and a chira holding financially and ameba and na sika bia we need that because of investment bia why your baby I would ba account and na chira wo sika zam aholding na mo prempren e Canada wanim na wo sika bia de kwakotua e chira wo state so won your sika ni won timi ka say your defo what you hear ni into the future and the IMF gimmicks yati abre abang bia ya how many times about 17 18 time ni meboa maybe na bang bu so IMF abaga so ade a wo ye enko ye ntino sesa wona onamo obegi je so sa na mo bang ni fi ho ape no abaso abang na manage economy ni yenti se na ekoni ni ayaka nyina no yeka ewa bra yedi the most renowned economist the whole world in the person of Dr. Bawumia as vice president ono neso tena economic management team neso our position no so ono de onye bosi ada because kana wa why Bank of Ghana da sika ta opochu okaya jina so promises what background na sika wo hunti obet mama each constituency 275 constituencies Ghana han obi abenya $1 million every year ona wodi ahe na ba wodi ahe na ba enya tie fidan a wodi si enya no kan because assemblies ni ade wo ma wo yede dawo ya ban foto a ode ba beto ama enka common fan ho ahe na aba si je baby ehu mo magi mebunga hroa wo fie universities ba every year a wo hia dwumae say economy ne shrink sa na wontimi maimu emu adwuma nya esese aban yiye enye se all train say de bia obenya sika bi afi baabi in the form of abusia no de abobra I am of that my abusia yeah abusia enti form na yetu tuya na yetu obon no ko form yetu na kopie ebe foforo akopie he
Honorable.
Ebe pray him. But you to from. We are sinking deeper. He ni me fi ba ya di kan ya 600 go time. We say what he had. Maybe so. I okay be some. Me tell say uru furata ne press statement ni mo. And now we share mo na one mo kasa. Okay say fade. We be cocoa board. No ne governor na kwa kotina board no so. What is uncommon?
Yeah.
I didn't. Because cocoa board and Danane Kufado, Dr. Baumia, will not run a bankrupt. Cocoa board, they good. So make my
mommy.
They see from. But you see, I dream out what they buy no brings back into picture near na president under NDC, send no handle cocoa board. When them say under NDC, no, what the cocoa board, echo share finance ministry, I say, see it here, come on me.
Me too.
Now, under NDC, no. In 8 years of NDC, no, na cocoa body under Ministry of Finance. Oh, we go away. We no buy no, and we be equal Greek. And the financial aspect, so best man manage finances here. Bossy and ko syndicate loan o kwakoje send us what dey won aye the basa. Enti encourage if so betimi asan ko ye no senior bank dey down here na. I think say bebo because now they are dreaming about it. One for back door. One said that you need no cotton board so keke. So what the babesha finance ministry na say. Na ye say you bet me to 2 years. Na say be you paying for see. One e kwedi di maya.
Yen kan fufurungu. Me da se be na the NPC. Me da se.
Sem paibobu o ha. Yen yire ho ne.
Me da se.
Just a minute. Honorable Mpacho, me appeal be. MPP in opposition. Wo di J Osebon mebiso. Because I know so on trusting Ghana police. Bekaya. To what 2 vigilante groups be brave. Sad no merinyin abite one. Na he Uriak in Japan. Ne bid to become a flag bearer. Dr. Baumia. We say group be vigilante groups be. Ebe declare support ma Uriak in Japan. Promising say what bed tiny chinumuni ade. I don't make it be you. It is a swiftly sadly. What's you sad none of the doubt? Monkey come on. Me too mufo. Niama mu yeya in opposition and name assaulting the pillars of powers and the fact he could see him go for South Africa for the Adeban. Abe young moral fabric mu. Abe governance system.
Okay.
Eti monche somebody went to Santama.
Me da se.
I'm here. Yet ha. Uti fefefi. You'll be a copema, a bammy up.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
At the end of the day, IMF program no successful. And your bumpire say Dwaso now minor ejina. Once we stay the course, we'll be able to make electricity so so as compared to some time back, you know. I think that me very happy about that. Inti finance minister and then me Bonabaso say
the same the same $3 billion now. Yeah, Bank of Ghana. Ashiwe guno. And I don't know what did be brand. Mufia. IMF ash over 6 over 60 billion. What do you fear? Over $3 billion.
That is a capital.
And
Yes, sorry.